Yo guys, JC here. How's it going? I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a while since I made videos for this channel and talked about scams, but the scams are still out there, man, and many people are losing lots of money every day, unfortunately. And today I want to look at a particular type of scam, and that's the pop-up scam. So what I mean by that is, look, we've seen it sometimes. We browse something on the internet very casually, and then we might click on something, and then boom, this thing opens up, and it has like a ton of pop-ups, and they sometimes make a lot of noise, very scary noise, some kind of alarm noises, or there's like a voice saying something scary like your computer is blocked, and please call this number immediately, or you will lose all your data and something like that. So of course, when you hear something like that and you actually believe it's real, uh, it's gonna scare the shit out of you. And yeah, you're gonna try to call the number, or I don't know, try to click on something, and that's just gonna open up more pop-ups, or it might even like start downloading some kind of malware or a virus file on your computer. So today, that's what we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at some of these pop-ups, and I will just comment briefly. So let's have a look. So I just opened up, this is a browser tab actually, and I just Googled basically fake pop-up. Look, there's actually more of them out there. This is just a sample, but it will give you a pretty good idea what they look like. Unfortunately, here there's no audio, but just imagine that it's the same thing, but some of them are just flashing, or they have some kind of audio going on. But basically, yeah. So sometimes it looks like kind of this thing here. It says a big warning sign, your computer may be infected. I like how it says may be infected. It's not like, well, is it for sure? How, like, did it do any checks or something? Of course not. It didn't do any checks whatsoever. It gives a number to call for emergency tech support, call immediately. And then it says, there's some kind of virus that has been found, a Trojan. That's very popular among scammers. And yeah, you need it fixed. The only way to fix it is to call that number. So, what happens though if you call that number is that most likely a lot of tech support scams are from India. That's just the way it goes. So, you're going to talk to some Indian person with a very thick English accent, usually. Well, I mean, Indian accent, I should say. The thing is, like, there's a lot of IT people that work in India. That's true. But usually, like, if they work for a reputable company like Microsoft or something like that, Microsoft actually has like requirements for how they speak, etc. Like there's a test they need to pass, and they need to speak a certain way. So if they can't speak proper English, most likely it's just a scammer. And yeah, the thicker the accent, the more scammy it is. This one again, this is again a similar one. It says, this is not a joke. Oh, this is like a gift card. You want a gift card or something like that. This is also quite popular. It always says like you're the millionth visitor, or whatever, 2 millionth or something like that. The thing is, like, if you reload the page, or if you open that page on another machine at the same time, well, the counter should add one person, right? But it never does. You will always be 1 millionth, because that's just a picture you're looking at. The picture doesn't change. So, yeah, you will always be the winner. And it's always some gift card, and you have to click yes to confirm. So, again, if you click yes, probably it will install some crap on your computer that you don't need. This is a similar one, by the way. It's just a different looking, but the same idea. You want a free phone. Yeah, right. This one is actually really scary, because it will just open up in the whole page. I know that here the website is like a prank website, but trust me, these are actually real things. Like these are actually real pop-ups sometimes. and they are really scary. They have these scary pictures, and there's a timer counting down, and it says, like you have 1 hour to do something, and if you don't do it in 1 hour, basically all your files will be encrypted. Well, just to explain that to layman people, if all your files become encrypted, your computer is basically fucked. Like you can't do anything anymore. All your files will be just gibberish. You can't like open read anything. It will just be transformed into this weird, code. And yeah, you can't use it. But unfortunately, in this case though, this is a fake pop-up. It's not actually doing anything. It's just there to scare you so that you call a number again, you talk to some scammer, and you pay some money to fix a problem that you don't even have in the first place. Actually, there's nothing wrong with your machine. It's just they will then, if you call them, they will just pretend on the line that, oh, you have like a virus and you have this thing and this thing. And sometimes it's even like absurd because they will say things like, okay, well, like Windows has the BitLocker encryption system. You can enable that. It comes free with Windows 10, as far as I know, anyway. And they will look into the processes, and maybe it will say it's stopped. And they will say, "Oh, okay, so it's stopped. So to fix that, we're gonna download it, and that's going to cost you like they usually have kind of fake plans like for 3 years 5 years and like lifetime. The one I heard yesterday on a live stream was just like ridiculous. For 3 years he said it was $500. I think for 5 years it was like 800 or something, and then for lifetime he said it's going to cost you $6,000. $6,000 to do jack shit. But unfortunately, again, you see kind of this pop up here. It's very scary. There's like a counter going down. There's a picture of a lock, and there's like a skull. And some people just, people who don't know about computers, they start to panic. And yes, some of them do pay the $6,000. And you can say whatever you want. Look, they're dumb, they're stupid to fall for that, and certainly that's a part of it, definitely. But the scammers also rely on the sense of fear and panic, and that's very annoying. And definitely, they shouldn't do that. Basically, they're criminals to do that. But just don't be scared. This is absolutely fake. This is not true. This is not real. This is another one. This is probably this one is the most common one that I saw. It says like Windows support alert. Usually it's Windows Defender alert or something like that. Again, they give you um, a Microsoft toll-free number, but actually the number itself is not from Microsoft. They are pretending to be Microsoft. They are absolutely not Microsoft in any shape or form. And again, the computer is blocked. This is a very common one. Don't close your window, or don't restart your computer registration key, so this is probably like the Windows registration key, is blocked because it's illegal, or you're using pirated software, or you have a like something is sending virus over the internet. This is all bullshit. This None of it is true. I mean, maybe some of it could be true, but this window is absolutely fake. Don't fall for it. Just don't. Um okay, this is actually a pretty good guide, I guess. The first thing is to force close your browser. Definitely that one I do recommend, because a lot of these pop-ups, they kind of block up your computer a little bit. Like it becomes very very laggy. But maybe with a bit of luck, you can still do like Control Alt Delete or something and go into the task manager and just kill your browser. And that way it's gone. Like the next time you open your browser, it should be gone unless you have the browser set to open with the previous windows. In that case, you'll have to be like lightning fast. You'll have to go to that very last tab it opened and just close it before it can open. That's one thing you can do. You can remove any suspicious apps or extensions, of course. You can scan for malware if you want, and you can do a factory reset. But this is like really the final resort. I don't recommend. I mean, this is basically means like you reinstall everything. That's a very extreme case, I would say. Definitely, if you reach that stage. Let's look at a few more. This one, this is a fake antivirus pop-up. So this one would pop up usually in the corner of the screen where your notifications are. And it can say whatever. It can say Norton, it can say McAfee, it can say Avira in this case. But of course, it's not from them. It's just a fake pop-up from some, scammer company in India who made this pop-up basically. And if you actually click on that, it's never going to go to the Avira or McAfee or Norton. It's going to go to a scammer. So definitely watch out for that. It says like 5 viruses detected here, credit card details at risk. How does it know that? How in the world does it know that? It doesn't. It doesn't, because it's fake as shit. System scan required immediately. Okay, there's another one here. Actually, this one, I'm not sure specifically about this one, but sometimes it can be a fake fixing tool as well. So you have to be careful. Like you're downloading a tool to clean up malware or something, but actually the tool itself could be malware. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful what you install on your computer. Very careful. And sometimes it can be a fake tool that you think, oh, it's actually going to clean up my system. But no, the tool itself is malware. So do watch out for that. Uh, okay, this one is not so interesting. This one is like a similar one that we saw about the Windows one. This is just for Mac. It says your browser has been locked. OPC data will be detained and criminal procedures will be initiated against you if the fine will not be paid. So if you need to call that number, and look, please don't call that number, okay? Just don't call that number. I don't know what that number is, so just in case, like, don't call that number, okay? I don't want to be guilty. I don't want to be responsible for some crap happening to you. Just don't call that number. But again, this sounds very scary. Um, why is my data suddenly detained and, some criminal procedure is initiated against me? Why? But it sounds scary. It's going to scare people. People are going to go into a panic and they're going to call the number and they're going to pay some money to look. I don't know what this scam is in particular. I would imagine this is some kind of thing they're gonna. Sometimes what they do is they will accuse you of, for example, downloading child pornography. That's a very, very common thing they do. And then they will say, "Oh, you're a criminal. You're looking at child porn, so you need to pay us money and like a fine, and then everything is okay. Like like please don't watch pornography again, but like you're fine. Like you paid, you learned your lesson, and everything is okay now. But all of it is a scam. You're just paying money for absolutely nothing. You didn't download any kitty porn, okay? Nothing happened. It's just they're trying to trick you and to manipulate you into paying them money. That's all it is. Okay, this is like a similar one we just looked at. This is like a McAfee one. That's why I said it's not just a Vera. It's like a McAfee and Norton as well. They have many of those. And yeah, sometimes like I'm not sure. Forget this one. This one is not so interesting. There's another one here. I'm not sure what this icon is. I don't like not very familiar with them, but anyway, like you get the idea. There's a lot of them, and usually like they appear on some websites which are a bit shady. Like usually porn websites. Well, not all, of course, but some of them. it will often open a pop-up, and okay, sometimes it's kind of harmless, but sometimes it's gonna look like what we just saw. It's gonna say, like, the police is looking into you, and they're gonna catch you. You need to pay the fine immediately and stuff like that. Sometimes it's gonna be like some kind of buzzing noise. Sometimes there's even like a voice saying that to you out loud. It can be very, very intimidating and scary. You start to panic, and you call the number. You're all like flustered and shit. And yeah, if you don't know any better, you're definitely going to get scammed. So please watch out for these pop-up scams. I like, honestly, like, in the past few years, it hasn't happened to me. I'll just be honest, but it did happen like before, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago or something like that. For some reason, I started to get quite a lot of them. Well, I was on Windows 7 at the time too, which is a bit more vulnerable in general. But yeah, for some reason, I started to get a few of them, and then they stopped. They just like they came, they stopped coming. And after that, I really didn't see any. I was trying to get them for my video, but unfortunately, I don't know where to get them. So, but just be careful, be aware, just definitely be aware that it's out there, this very kind of nasty things, and they will try to scare you, and yeah, try to manipulate you. Just don't fall for that. It's all fake. Usually just, kill the browser, restart your browser, and you'll be fine. If anything, restart your computer. uh when everything is open again, chances are you'll be okay. And that's pretty much my advice. If you need some kind of more in-depth help, then definitely try to look on the internet. I'm sure some people came across these type of issues and solved them. But yeah, just also be aware that sometimes the tools that you download, the tool itself can be malware. It happened to me before, like long time ago. I was so confident that this is a great tool. It cleans up my computer, but actually it did nothing, and it was just basically malware. It sometimes opens like doors, back doors, for attackers to enter your system later on. So just, yeah, be careful of all of that. Don't fall for it. And that's my video for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Do share if you find it important. I mean, I think it's really important. People should be really aware of what's going on with the computer, because we live in the computer era. So if you don't know about computer, chances are you're going to get scammed at some point. So please share this video if you found it educational, and I will see you on the next one. JC signing off. Peace.